Hi folks, Simon here, and one of the things I'm looking forward to myself in Final Fantasy VII Remake is the fact we're going to be able to have summons, something we couldn't do in the original game whilst we were going through the Midgar section. Now, Yoshinori Kitase has recently just shared some information here with, I believe, the Final Fantasy VII Remake official Twitter team, so I'm going to leave a link down to the original post in the video description if you want to check that out, but we're also just going to play what Yoshinori Kitase had to say about summons, that is, how they're actually going to work in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then I'll just share my thoughts about that with you. So let's go ahead and see what Kitase-san had to say about this. We also got to see a bit of Shiva as well. Sounds like a bit of the Final Fantasy XV conditional system going on there. Okay. It's interesting, you know, the system they're going for, the summon system in Final Fantasy VII Remake, sounds like a cross between three games. It sounds like a cross between the summon system in the original Final Fantasy VII, the Esper system in Final Fantasy XII, and some of the systems that were implemented with summons in Final Fantasy XV. So obviously the Final Fantasy VII part is that you're actually equipping the red summon materia into the equipment that the party members are going to be using in order to actually call those summons. That's pretty awesome. I love the fact that materia is being fully implemented in the remake. I mean, we knew it kind of had to be, really, to some degree, but I actually like the fact you can see it in weapons and stuff. The fact that the Esper system in Final Fantasy XII had the summons themselves appear on the battlefield and fight alongside the party member looks like that's, you know, obviously being implemented, with a few differences here in Final Fantasy VII Remake. First of all, in Final Fantasy XII, at least in the Zodiac Age, you could actually take control of the Esper on the battlefield, whereas it sounds like here in the Final Fantasy VII Remake, the computer is going to be taking full control of that particular character. However, Yoshinori Kitase did just mention that once your party member's ATB gauge has filled, you can unleash the special attack for whichever summon you're using. So I guess for Ifrit, that would be Hellfire, for Shiva, Diamond Dust, etc, etc. And I suspect that if you do unleash that particular attack, that would bring them out of the battle a little bit earlier than they otherwise would remain for. And I mentioned as well, you've got some features there from Final Fantasy XV summon system, which I wasn't a big fan of. The summons themselves I thought were fantastic. They were so impressive and epic in scale, but you hardly ever actually got to use them. This is the thing that worries me, because there was a very strict conditional system in Final Fantasy XV when it came to summons. You had to meet certain conditions in battle before they would randomly appear, such as having various party members die, or whatever the case may be. Now, Yoshinori Kitase says there are going to have to be certain conditions met in battle in Final Fantasy VII Remake before the red summon materia begins to glow, indicating you can then go ahead and actually call the summon. So I like that the summon materia will glow when the summon is ready, but I'd be interested in knowing what the conditions are in order to actually go ahead and call the summon. It was mentioned that summons can be used in boss battles and certain specific powerful enemy encounters, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be a free-for-all. We're encountering a random enemy here in the dungeon. Let's go ahead and summon Shiva. I don't think you're going to be able to do that based on what was just said. It does sound like they are going to be reserved for more epic boss battles. But yeah, please do share your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of the summon system now that we're starting to learn more about it in the Final Fantasy VII Remake? And do you like this, I guess, like I say, a cross between 7, 12 and 15 that's being implemented here. Personally, you know, I think it looks fantastic. I really am looking forward to it. I just hope it's tuned so that we do actually get to see these summons in action, because like I said, in Final Fantasy 15 with the conditional system, I only ever really got to see the summons during specific fights and encounters where story-wise they were pulled into the battle anyway, but in terms of random encounters I hardly ever got to use the summons, apart from times where there was someone where I didn't actually need them, which is usually quite kind of typical. So I'm hoping it's not going to be, you know, to that extreme, the conditions that are required, but we'll have to see how it plays out. But yeah, please do share your own thoughts down in the comment section, and for any further remake news then please make sure you stay tuned to my channel. I'll be sure to share that with you. But that's it for me for today, guys. I'll see you next time.
This sounds like you're having fun.